Hello, welcome back to Pass the Pop Culture. I'm Mrphen alongside Ricky.
What's up, guys?
Today is another gaming news segment. Actually, very interesting things that I'm kind of hyped to talk about. You probably hear me rant for like 30 hours, but that's fine. Uh, Topics pretty much are just the Elden Ring demake, which is essentially just like a Game Boy Advance,
No, well,
old
not a
school.
Game Boy Advance, a Game
Uh,
Boy, like
yeah,
the
you're
old
right. You're right.
school. Yeah, so very like Link's Awakening
Mm-hmm.
inspired. Yeah, we got some Sonic Origins controversy,
Correct.
which this is interesting to talk about because if you plan on buying it, I would at least stick around for this segment because it's gonna kind of go into like
What you're paying
a
for?
Denuvo, which is like an anti-piracy software and basically some shenanigans going on with the DLC parts that eh, it's just kind of scummy, I guess.
Hmm.
And I guess we're gonna get some good old fashioned advertisements in our games, and then that has me very sad. I don't know, no energy on that one. But yeah, we got a lot of interesting topics. Uh, we're gonna have Fen pretty much just go over Halo Season 2, Halo Infinite Season 2, all the stuff. Have him rant.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
Diablo Immortals again. I guess they're going PC and mobile for that one, which Fen
everyone has a
again.
PC, right? Like you said.
Yeah, so they're going from what, you don't have a phone? And then what, you don't have a PC? Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. But
Start with
anyways,
Elden Ring.
let's start with something kind of lighthearted. I think that's the best way because there's a lot of sad news today. It just seems like I feel like 90% of the time we're talking about something, it's not good news. It's not good news. I think it's just kind of like been bad stuff going on. Unless it's like a reviewer dropping for like a game we enjoy. Most of the time, I feel like it's just doom and gloom. Like it's just
Actually,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
are right,
But
huh?
anyways,
Oh.
this Elden Ring demake. So it's kind of interesting. You can find it on the r/Elden Ring subreddit. It's basically a demake for the Game Boy that someone's kind of trying to make the first section of Elden Ring. I haven't played Elden Ring. I haven't had the chance to, so I don't know too much about like all the stuff. So I just want to preface that. But I just thought it was kind of cool, kind of interesting because I always love these kind of demakes. Or like they had that Bloodborne demake for like the PlayStation that I thought was really awesome.
Hmm.
I haven't had a chance to play that one though, but I saw some gameplay of it. People did kind of like playthroughs and stuff like that, and I kind of got my fill for it, and I thought it was really awesome. So I'm always a sucker for these demakes. I'm just like a retro. I enjoy retro games in general, so stuff like this always suckers me in. And I just wanted to put it out there because it's very interesting. He's been streaming the content. And so I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about. Of course, you can always look it up on the subreddit. You can probably literally just like put it in the search bar because that's kind, and then you can probably find articles just like talking about it and stuff like that. So if you want to kind of like see the gameplay and stuff, GameSpot, that's the one where I found it. But I don't know if like, cause are you a fan of demakes or is it kind of not really your thing?
I mean, I guess if it's done correctly, like the Bloodborne one, like I can get behind because we're never getting
Mm-hmm.
Bloodborne 2 or a remake or anything. So you know what? Let's do the opposite way. But not with like this,
Yeah.
like like with the Elden Ring. Like after just seeing like that short, what was it, like 10-second clip? Is like, I'm not sure. Like, it's definitely a demake. Like,
Yeah, like
like a
you're
heavy
sacrificing a
demake.
lot here, and
Yeah,
it does in a way make me appreciate how far like games have come.
exactly.
Because Game Boy hardware, I mean, it's not really a step up from a calculator, for being honest here. But it's yeah, I honestly think it's pretty cool. A lot of people like it. A lot of people are like, they want to support the creator.
Hmm.
If you want to, it's Shintendo, and so you can find them on Twitch and stuff like that. So it'll be
Give him a
twitch.tv
follow.
slash Nintendo TV. So if you want to check them out, you can see their progress and stuff. And they plan to kind of like document the whole process out. So I think that's really awesome. I think because there's like a cool little like I almost want to call it like a subculture for like game devs, like especially like indie or just hobbyist game devs, where they try to like get things to work on like older uh, hardware like the NES or the Game Boy, which
Hmm.
I've always been interested in learning how to do. I always think it's fascinating. Uh, to do something like on the NES, it's like you got to learn like a bit of assembly and all that stuff, and that can be a bit difficult programming language. It looks like wizardry at half the time. So I don't know, but what is cool though is that they're using Game Boy Studio, which is developed in C. It's not as efficient as if you had the tools to actually build a Game Boy game out, probably, back then. Because
Hmm.
I do remember that I was looking into this. Now this is Game Boy Studio 3.0. I think I was looking at more like the 2 point something, and this was like a couple, like I think it was like a year ago or so, probably at this point. So when I first got into it, kind of learning, like there was some kind of inefficiencies and things here and there that, yeah, of course, if you weren't writing it in like I don't know whatever native programming language it was, but um, it was just kind of like you weren't going to get the full power and capabilities, but it still allows you to make these cool little games. I am very interested in to see how far he's going to be able to develop, just because of like just memory, right?
Hmm.
Like how much data we're gonna be able to store on a cartridge, because he is planning to try to get to actually work on a real Game Boy, and that's
Yikes.
interesting. And I always love it when they try to flash the game onto a real Game Boy cartridge and like actually be able to run it and play it. Because I don't know, it just hits like a nostalgia thing for me that I didn't really like. I mainly gamed on like the Game Boy Advance,
Hmm.
um, but I don't know. There's just something special about that like Game Boy NES era of games that it just. I think you know what? I think it's because it just felt genuine. I think that's what it
Hmm.
is.
I see. Okay.
And I wanted to just talk about this because it's like this is just someone who's like passionate about games, right? Like who's
Hmm.
just doing it like it's for fun, it's for kicks, right? And then because we're gonna be talking about some other stuff here that
It's
is
the
kind of
opposite.
making me lose hope. And I just want to talk about it. Maybe you don't care about this demake, but it's very interesting. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to point it out there and be like, you know what? There's still some cool little corners of the internet that are doing
We
games
hear you,
right,
right? We
hopefully.
hear you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to amplify that. I just
Yeah.
wanted to amplify, like, hey, if anyone's gonna check this out, go ahead, dude. It's like it's pretty cool. I love the little like tumble animation. It's not really a roll. It's more like a weird like
Like he
this loopy
trips.
loop thing. Does yeah. So that's why I'm saying tumble, but I like it. The guy's clearly putting in like some hard work here. So yeah, I just want to shout him out like on that. But I guess to get to our next topic, so I guess to talk about Sonic Origins now. So I found this article on Tech Radar, and so I didn't really know about this actually.
I didn't
I'm
either.
a little uneducated on this, and I don't know too much. But I just thought it'd be an interesting topic to bring up. And if anybody knows more about it, I'd be very interested if you drop a comment somewhere on the YouTube, or check us out on Twitch, and then you start talking to us about it. And I'd be very much interested to get educated about this. But so Denuvo, I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's an anti-piracy software that is infamous for negatively impacting game performance. And it's going to be included in the PC version of Sonic Origins. So basically, what Denuvo does is that it makes it very difficult for the game to be cracked right away
Hmm.
on release, right? So that you can't just give out free copies. I think for like Death Stranding, it was like 90 days before it got cracked. I don't
Oh no,
remember. It was a certain game.
Assassin's Creed Origins. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, so like that's impressive, right? Because by the time 90 days roll around, you're already doing sales, right? Especially if it's the holiday season, you're slightly past it. It's most of your sales are already there, right? You've
Yep.
already made your money for the most part. Whatever money you are making is by
It's on
seasonal
sale by then.
sales. Yeah, like
Essentially.
3 months by then it's like, yeah. So that's why it's pretty popular from what it seems like. But the problem is it's like that I didn't know is that it gets put onto the game and there's no way to remove it, of course, because it's anti-pirating software, but that it actually negatively affects the performance of your games.
By like a 55% according to Death Stranding.
Yes.
Which is huge.
And so yeah, so it's about a 55% like detriment you're gonna you're gonna experience in terms of frames and loading screens, and it's just, and of course, Sonic Origins. I'm willing to bet it's not going to be computationally intensive, right, on your computer. But I'd be more interested to know about games that use this now, because I would love to line up to see like if there's people who complain in the reviews and stuff like, hey, yeah, the performance is not that great, and if they
Oh.
use this anti-pirating software or not. Because now, there's a video attached to the Tech Radar article that goes over a lot of games that have it, and they're always bad. Every single time, it's just they claim, this anti-pirating software company claims that it doesn't affect gameplay or anything like that, but the benchmarks that they use don't really line up. So it's like, it's kind of a weird gray area, but I just do think it's kind of interesting that, and some people have even kind of chosen not to buy the game because of this. And so now I'm kind of thinking like, man, like maybe I have to be careful when I buy these kind of games, because I don't know what they're putting on my computer, because you're just assuming you're just getting the game. Right,
That's
like you're
true.
just getting a game. It's just a
That's
game
true.
software and everything. But when you think about it, like, well, you're downloading some other stuff with it, right? And of course, like, because of our next topic and stuff like that, I'm getting really wary of like, what am I really putting on my computer now at this point,
Because
right?
they don't have to
And
tell us, right? Essentially.
they don't have to. They're putting it on there either way. So I guess I can try to like just buy it on the Switch or something, right? Or whatever, like I guess, and then that's fine. But it's like, I prefer to play on my PC. I
Yeah.
bought this for a reason, like if I can get most games running on my PC, I'm going to choose so. But that's just kind of like the first part of the thing. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested in that, but I'm kind of bringing this up too because like if anyone's like willing to kind of explain it a bit more to like kind of dumb it down for me,
I
I
mean,
think it'd be kind of
because
interesting.
based on the article and like kind of like explaining how it is, I kind of understand why they like this
Mm-hmm.
program, because yeah, it is like 90 days, no pirate's gonna take it,
Yeah.
but like at the expense of making the game kind of like less playable, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really have to tell us, because I didn't know this thing existed till this article.
Yeah.
Like
Like I didn't know
I think
that's like
if
because.
they say, yeah, we have this in it, we're not gonna, of course, don't lie about saying it's not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, that's strike number one. But just say, hey, if you notice like a weird random drop in frames or whatever the negative impact is, it's because
Yeah.
it's whatever the code's doing or something. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But like
I don't know.
I didn't realize that so many people were upset by this because
Yeah.
it was just like something that I didn't really think about, like anti-piracy software and all this stuff. And but it's just interesting because I think like we should have these companies be a little bit more transparent with us. And in terms
But
of what are we really downloading, because especially because we're going to be talking about advertisements and advertisers putting their products in games, we are going to be having to get our data more collected. They're going to be harvesting these things, and then like, well, to what extent are they like, if I'm playing a game right on Steam and I download it, they see what kind of games that I want. Are they going to start? Of course, you can see like, oh, games your friends are playing or similar games like this. But then it's like, are they going to be directly targeting me in the game itself for certain advertisements, right? And then it starts becoming a little, I don't know,
everyone
it's a
hide your
gray area,
hentai
but that's the
games.
next topic. That's the next topic. Well, yeah, I know. Man, could you imagine that on Twitch,
Oh
right?
my
You're
god.
just playing Halo, right? And you just see a hentai game advertisement right there, and then it's just whole thing out, and you're just like you just get banned off of Twitch.
Just flying
That
around
would
as
be
Spider Man,
amazing.
you hit a billboard
Yeah.
with like big old boobas.
And then you just get the ban hammered on you just because it's like they targeted advertised for you. That would be amazing, dude. A lot of people would get exposed like that, and that'd be
Oh
amazing.
man, that's beautiful.
But yeah. Anyway, so back to the Sonic Origins controversy because we're kind of delving on the other topic here. Yeah, another thing too that I kind of felt like it was kind of scummy, and then of course, okay, look, this is like the millionth time they've released like the original Sonic games over and over and over and over and over again. I missed another over, but they've done it. I don't know how many times, right? Like they just ride off the success of like the first like 3 Sonic games or so, the classic ones from like the Genesis and all that. So I I don't really care too much about this per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, most of this stuff's available on emulators if you really don't want to pay for it.
We
A
don't
lot of the
advertise the
times,
use of emulators. Cough, cough. Anyways,
yes,
continue.
but you can just go and straight up just buy an original set, Genesis, and just find the cartridges somewhere. I don't know how expensive that is, but if you really don't like it, there's ways you can get it. And there's, of course, on older generations, you can play these games as well, like they sold them
Actually,
before
I
and
just read
stuff.
an article as soon as we hit recording that they got rid of the games that are included in this one. So the only way you can play whatever games this has is buying Sonic Origins.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting. Well, that changes things. Yeah.
I literally just
Well,
read it like as soon as we hit recorded.
because
Like,
usually they just sell them by themselves,
nope.
or there's like other things. But now, oh man, they're taking all those down. So yeah, because I don't know about you, but I'm not the biggest fan of DLC, especially paid DLC.
For old content.
Um, for old content. If it's free content later on, which they do have some of it, to be fair, but most things are being put behind a DLC paywall, and they
Yeah.
were already a part of other games, or like they're not making new content. They're just a lot. Some of it's like just music, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 separate expansions. I forgot what it said in the article, but it was like $40 more or so if you get the whole thing or whatever.
Yep.
Or
$44.
it was, yeah, it was just it's something ridiculous. Like, all right, and a lot of it's just adding music in, getting special animations in, which like I don't
What?
like. You get new animations like in the menu, and like you can
Who
actually
cares? I'm
like
joking.
just put that in the game.
Yeah.
Like if you already made the game, you already have the animations, then that should be part of the base game. Like you shouldn't put these like now if they made it unlockable, and if you don't want to unlock them, and you don't want to spend the time going through the challenges or whatever, and you pay like $1 for them, that's fine. I don't really care at that point. Like I'd rather have, but like if you're purposely separating content that you already made, from what it seems like, because they already have it planned out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they already, and we don't actually know the price just yet, but they're just estimating that it's probably going to cost you an extra $5 per expansion or so. So it's going to be kind of, I don't know. I don't plan on buying this, but I think it is kind of like a buyer beware kind of thing. Like, okay, there seems to be kind of some interesting things here. I usually regard Sega as pretty decent, but it's just kind of interesting. Like, it's still like just practices like this that you can just never fully trust some of these game companies, especially for the next thing that we're going to be talking about here. But I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add on to this little
Not really. I mean,
controversy.
I can kind of understand the DLC point of view, but I didn't know that. The biggest concern is that software. Like
Hmm.
I guess it's a double-edged sword. You know, it's good that they're stopping pirates, but at the cost of us suffering slowly. I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of makes me wonder too. And in terms of like Death Stranding, they
Hmm.
re-released the game, and it's like new this, new that. So does that new version also have this program, or is it like not there? It's like maybe you're buying the second game without the software.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like I remember something like, because it gets disabled after a certain while, because or like I mean in terms of the software after it gets cracked, right? Like
Yeah,
it gets disabled after a while, so I guess they just crack it, but it still stays on there, like it doesn't get turned off, right?
yeah.
Like
So
yeah,
what's
it
the
can
point?
get bypassed. I guess that's the better word. Like it's bypassed, not disabled, because it's kind of confusing when I say it that way. And then, but it's still there. It's still actively running. So you're still like, even once it becomes pirated and they know how to pirate easily,
Hmm.
you still suffer from it, unless they somehow just like
So
take it out and remove
is
it
this
from like
just like
another
a
download.
scheme to say, hey, the next collector's edition is improved frame rates, but it's really just them taking out the software?
Oh dang, that's a conspiracy theory
I mean,
right
I just
there.
ruined all the games, but
That's no, that's
because
conspiracy theory right
what
there.
did this
We
like
have to make a video on that, dude.
Death Stranding, you know, what did they harp on in the
Hmm.
new stuff? New content, you know, better graphics, better XYZ.
And it's just because they removed that so they can
And is it
afford to.
because yeah? I mean, we had to find out if they actually have it in there, but
I don't know. We'd have to watch that video that they had there, but that's a conspiracy theory we may have stumbled upon. That'd be
oops.
interesting.
Please don't kill me.
CIA shows up.
Kojima, please,
yeah.
I love you still.
Yeah.
I'll buy whatever you want.
Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah, that actually now you have me
Sorry,
thinking there,
I mean
man.
that's just the angle I'm thinking of because as soon as it said like
Hmm.
drop frames, I mean, same thing with like Spider-Man. I know that's new PS5 or whatever, but it's like now the loading screens are all of a sudden good. It's like I don't know. There's a very interesting
Like they just had to
coincidence.
remove it, and then
Yeah, that's like too coincidental. I think.
interesting. That's something we'd have to look into. I
Hmm.
don't know, man.
That's a can of
That'd
worms. I
be.
don't know if I want to open.
I don't know if we want to be hated by the entire game industry yet, but
Yeah.
that would be real journalism. Get paid $20 by IGN to run that
For
article.
groundbreaking news. Yikes.
Yeah.
That was a shock.
So okay, that I would get stuck on that for a while. So
Move
this
on.
next thing that pisses me off, I guess, this is just a rant now. I think this is all this is gonna be ranting for the rest. But advertisement in games is just it's been pretty egregious for a while now. It's in the mobile market especially. For the most part, I mean advertising in general, right? Like no matter where you go or where you look, it's just ad. And it just I think people are getting kind of tired of it. And the last real like safe haven was like in the games. You know, like you didn't have to worry about like could you imagine like you're pulling up your phone like in a game and it's like, hey, check out this advertisement, and then it's just like, hey, you gotta watch it before you can like actually like look at the missions and stuff. But it's just I'm trying to think like how is this stuff gonna actually be implemented? But the whole point being is that Microsoft is building an advertising program that will be deployed to their free-to-play titles. So that's gonna mean things like Halo Infinite, whatever other free games that they play that I probably don't think are relevant enough for me to mention because I don't play them.
Ew, really? Okay.
I don't know what other free to play stuff they have. Their solitaire game? I don't know.
Well, solitaire kind of makes sense why they you don't really do anything, but
No, but all right, I'm just being bombastic. But so yeah, so Sony's also looking to test their own program as well. And this is kind of disheartening because I think there's some privacy concerns because Sony themselves are deciding on how they want to
go about it.
make money, right? So they're thinking of letting the game developers and publishers of potentially purchasing user data to help monetize targeted ads. It's for them to monetize their in-game ads and stuff like that, or they're thinking of just taking a direct cut from the ads themselves. So they're going to run ads themselves, and then they're going to take a portion, or they're going to just sell our data, right? And then they're going to ship it to these companies, and they're going to make a ton of money off of it. And then they're going to target those ads towards us. Now that I think a lot of people skipped over that part, right? When it comes to this conversation, because some people are like, oh, well, yeah, the ads in the game suck, right? I don't want to go to a billboard in the game and be like, hey, check out the Doritos Loco Taco at Taco Bell, for $2.99 or whatever. I don't know what the price is. But, like, the point being is, like, nobody wants that, right? Or nobody wants to, like, die in the game, right? And then in between them respawning, there's, like, an advertisement in the corner for, like, Mountain Dew, right? So it's, like, they really don't want these things. Now they say that they want to not anger the gamer or like be so egregious and in your face. But the problem is like that they're in there, right? And the idea of them putting it on a billboard or something in like the background, or like it's just in the game somewhere, like in a corner or whatever, it doesn't really bother me. It's happened before. It doesn't. The more concerning part to me is how they're going to collect our data, because that's where the real money is going to be made, right? Is collecting our data in game. I don't know, what is it going to be like? Is it going to be like the kind of characters that we make or something like that? Or is it going to be customization options that we tend to go for so they can use that data to help make DLCs that are more appealing to the player base of like if people tend to like blue, skins or something like that, or ones that are on fire or whatever, are they going to start using that data, collect it, and then be like, okay, we need to make more skins that have fire on them or whatever? I don't know,
Hmm.
like to what degree are they using it? Are they just going to be like, oh yeah, this guy when he makes the account, they're going to track outside, like because I have like my Xbox stuff tied, to my computer
To
and
everything
to
else,
like
yeah.
just like my Microsoft account and everything's all tied. So it's like, and then especially if you use Edge, which I don't know why you're using Edge, but if you are using Edge, like is that another way for them to track you and collect all that data in terms of like it's all going to be tied to your gaming account? So it's like if you look on something on Edge, like if you're looking for pre-workout, are you going to go get a pre-workout ad in your game now, right? Like it's
Hmm.
it's like I don't know, kind of like I don't know, it's a little too, I don't know, like dystopian
I'm kind of
cyberpunk, and
I'm
I don't
kind
know
of
it.
I'm kind of taking this in a totally different direction. Like I guess the consumer data is worrying, and I'm hoping that like Microsoft and Sony have, well, they probably don't, like our interest to heart, and they're not gonna like, make it to where Facebook is all of a sudden saying like, hey, we saw you playing this video game. I mean,
Hmm.
like, I'm fine with advertisements in games if it's not so like intrusive. Like I would use Stupid Death Stranding as another example. They had the Monster Energy drink,
Hmm.
but it wasn't like in your face. But of course, it did the obvious like zoom in to the can, and then you just drink it, and then like he has a quirky line for it. Like that's fine. Or like if you're in Spider Man, you're swinging around, whatever, you see a billboard for whatever.
Or like his
That's
phone is like a Samsung or
yeah,
something like that, and
stupid
then
stuff that you're gonna look at and be like, I don't really care. Like that's fine. Um, and
yeah, I
like
guess for
and
me,
especially because like if more advertisers are gonna be like, go to this indie company and be like, hey, I want to give you a billion quadrillion dollars to put like something in here. It's like, isn't that better for everybody? Developers?
I mean, it could be. I see it more as like a privacy issue.
I
That's
mean,
like,
that yeah,
okay,
that this is me saying
that
if they're not,
yeah,
invading our
yeah.
privacy to the extreme.
I mean, they already are. It's like I'd rather just have them give us the option to sell our data or not. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's fine.
Okay.
Like, and then because they're also thinking of doing like in-game rewards and stuff like
Yeah, for
that. So
watching
it's
it. Yeah.
basically like mobile, right? It's
Yeah.
going to do a mobile. We have seen this before, right? When they try to kind of implement this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
usually gets a lot of pushback, and then they stop, and then they try bringing it up again, and they stop, and then it's just like, to me, it's like, is Microsoft really losing so much money? You know what
That
I
they
mean?
need this,
Like
right? Yeah.
that they need the advertisement. Like, is Sony really hurting that much in the pocket where they have to put games, like, I mean, ads directly in the games? Like if I pick up the launcher, right, like to like the Call of Duty one, right, for the launcher, like
Mm-hmm.
BattleNet, whatever it's called, and then like they have like a little advertisement on the side, like, hey, check out our other games. I don't care, like that's fine.
Yeah.
But if it's starting to be like, hey, you
Before you
know,
hit log in, watch 3 advertisements for an hour
yeah,
of
then
XP.
yeah, like then it's like, or it's like forcing me that I have to watch the
Mm-hmm.
advertisement before I start the game, or like when a level loads up or something like that, I have to watch it or something. Like a
Mm.
cutscene like is loading, and then it's like, hey, that Chili's combo, whatever, 2 for 20
Tired
or
of gaming?
whatever.
Come to Chili's. Well, now I'm
Yeah,
kind of hungry.
and it's like, I don't know, it kind of just rubs me the wrong way because it's not like these companies are really hurting for money.
Yeah,
Microsoft's a very profitable company, um, and they've been putting ads everywhere, right? Like you go into like your little Windows thing, and there's like advertisements for certain
exactly. Yeah.
things and games, and you even go to like your Explorer, and then they're telling you like all this thing. It's not.
It is
It's
sketchy.
like I don't like it because I just don't
No,
like the data being harvested. Because it's like, I
exactly.
think if data is being harvested, we should have the option to sell it ourselves and make money off of it. Because we are the product, and that becomes a whole separate conversation, I guess. Like in
But
terms
so,
of
like, what
like,
happens if more people are inclined to make free games? Like big title AAA, all of a sudden, a lot of them are starting to become free. but at the cost of having in-game advertisements.
You see, but that's the thing, because that's what happened to the mobile market, right? Because people started giving their games for free,
Yeah.
right, or very cheap. So then, actually, good games that would be on mobile have to go the freemium model or use like egregious in-game advertisements in order to recoup the losses of making the game. And so it's not going to allow. This is not going to allow for more creativity, right? Like, because it's just going to kind of just force devs to undercut and undercut and undercut until there's just no budget for these games, or there's really no way to recoup any of the money they make. And then you're going to get stuck with what the mobile market has, is just these cheap,
Junk.
low effort games that just get thrown out there, and then they just try to make as much money from advertisements as possible until people get tired of playing the game and delete it. And that's what's going to happen with the gaming market if we go to this advertisement free kind of like this free games with in-game advertisements kind of like model. Because they're trying to do it for the free games, they're going to get us used to it, then they're going to do it for the paid games, right? And then it's just they're not going to just stop at this. That's the thing. It's like they're going to be like, okay, they're going to get it, like it's like with YouTube, right? With the ads, they got us used to the one ad, and then they got us used to the ad where it was like, oh, it was 5 seconds but you can't skip, and then now they're both unskippable, and then it's like it's going to keep being longer.
Tricks
and
to work away, work around that, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just like, I think it's like a slow descent. It's like Microsoft is just not that much in a deficit where they have to pull this out as a desperate measure to keep the company from going under, right? Like, that's not where we're at here. This is just them making more money, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like they don't have to go this model, right? Like, how about you just make Halo Infinite actually an enjoyable game where people want to spend money on it?
No,
and
Ricky.
Then we can talk, right?
Commercials, that's what we want. That's going to save Halo.
It's like, yeah, like I don't like, it's fine if like advertisers want to come in and be like, hey, we want to make this skin for the gun. Like, if you make like a Mountain Dew and Dorito skin or something on it, people would probably pay for it, right? Like, it just for the meme of it, a lot of people would think it's funny, right? Like, and that's fine. And then it becomes like, also too, it's like, how sanitized are the games going to have to be now in terms of like certain subjects that we can talk about, right? Because like in certain countries, certain things are not allowed. So then, is that going to affect what kind of advertisements get shown to us? Is there going to be in-game censorship? Like Rainbow Six Siege, right? They had at one point, they had a character with a skull on her face, but that's not allowed in China. You can't. Yeah. There's just some like restrictions and regulations against that. So what they were going to do was just remove all of them. Move all the skulls from the game, and they're no more there. They're not there anymore. Even if you paid for a skin or something like that with a skull on it, it doesn't matter. It's getting removed from the game just to appease their censorship stuff. So it's just, are we now going to have to, and also too, because it's like advertisers are not going to want their games in violent games, right? Advertisers are going to be like, hey, why is someone's head getting chopped off next to my Coke ad, right? And then also too, this can cause, I think, some sort of adpocalypse too, in a way, where if people are going to upload game content where they're saying controversial things while gameplay is being shown in the background with advertisers in it, right? People might say, oh, well, we're not endorsing the ideas and stuff. And then what about Twitch? People who stream on Twitch, bigger streamers, right? They're giving free advertisement to people who are watching the content just by playing Halo. So then they're kind of double dipping, right? So when, Coca-Cola could be going to some big Twitch streamer to advertise with them directly and making that money, they're going to get the free ad because it's in the game if they're playing Halo, right? Like, so right. Like if you're a big Halo competitor, right, and you don't want to work with Coke, but you're not forced to work with Coke because it's in the game already. So it can almost seem like you're almost endorsing it because you're right there getting the kills, all your cool. Because if your cool shots and all that, like cool gameplay or whatever, and highlights and stuff like that are shown with that advertiser in the background, you're giving them free advertisement. And then like, are gamers going to be compensated for that? Nope. Like how is that going to work?
That's
right?
true.
And then so of course, like, what if one of those competitors get in a controversial, like they get caught cheating, and then now the advertiser's like, oh well, his gameplay had our stuff in the background, and then they're going to be like, oh, we're going to have to wipe it from the internet, and then it's just going to cause all these problems. Like I don't see this going in like in a good direction. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just see it like advertisers are not going to just want to sit there and allow like some random kid on Twitch to say the N-word and start like while they have like, you know, Mountain Dew in the background rolling by on their screen while they're playing Rocket League, right? Because they're as mature as like a 4-year-old. So then they're gonna be like, hey, we don't want that. We don't want, you know. And then it's gonna cause problems. Like, well, you can't not have in-game chat, or you know, it's just. Yeah, it just becomes a problem all around. It's like, yes, you know, I'd like people not to be screaming the obscenities and all that, but you know, it's going to happen, you know, and that's the thing. It's like winner, like, and then it becomes just a big bundle of like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you know, it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I think I just don't think they've really thought it through in the sense where it's like
the bigger picture,
here. It's like, because it's like nobody wants some screaming 12-year-old who's saying, you know, slurs and stuff to be on their content, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, people get dropped for a lot less. So and it's just it's just targeted ads towards them, that because they're just showing it, right? And then it's just, I don't know, because you know, advertisers, they get real fussy about everything, right?
Yeah.
Like you have something in the background right there, they don't like it, they'll get rid of it, right? You use a 2-second sound clip, right, to talk about some controversial topic, right? Even if it's important, they're like, no, we don't want to be associated with you.
Exactly.
So then they drop you. So then I can just imagine the kind of hell that this is going to create for content creators. Because like, what if we are boycotting a certain company, and then now because of targeted advertisements or just general ads in games, let's say we don't like Doritos, we don't like what they're doing or whatever.
That's true.
But then we keep getting Doritos ads every time we play the game. Are we gonna have to stop playing the game now because you know, Halo's forcing us to put, you know, the Halo Dorito, you know, combo pack in the game? They keep advertising it to us, you know what I mean? So then it's like, true, we're giving free advertisement to them, we don't like them, and then it's like, I don't know, it just becomes like such a.
So this has the potential to ruin gaming, essentially, is what you're saying.
It's gonna ruin gaming. It's gonna ruin YouTube. It's gonna ruin Twitch. It's gonna ruin content creation in general. It's gonna ruin everybody's time. I don't think this is like a good thing.
I think Elon Musk should just buy all this stuff and he'll save us all. That's my conclusion. Just like Twitter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That is scary though. Like, not like, yeah. I mean, in terms of advertisement, it's never gonna go the way we want it to.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is very scary. But it's like, I don't understand why they want to do this now. Like, why is Microsoft doesn't need to do this? Like, I don't know.
It's just, they always test the waters every few years, and then they get backlash, and then they stop, and then all the gamers are like, "Yeah, we did it. We stopped the big corporation." And then they just you know, do a bait and switch.
Make them feel like they are important.
Yeah, I don't know. It probably will go through at one point. I don't know. Just, it's whenever like we don't give enough backlash. Yeah, I don't really know, but yeah, that was a long rant. I'm just kind of like, I'm just more afraid, like, yeah, I'm just kind of afraid of like the bigger picture here. Like, what does this actually mean? Like,
yeah, it could be serious. So
all it takes is just one schmuck at Coke to just go, hey, we don't like that content creator. He says offensive things. We have our Coke advertisement in the background while he's saying that stuff on his gameplay. We want that removed. They're gonna go, well, we can't remove it. And then, you know, it's just like, well, fine, we're pulling out. And then,
I mean, they already do that, you know, with like orgs, you know, like OTK or Optic, XYZ, whatever, I don't care. If they're caught drinking something that isn't like their actual sponsor, like if you're sponsored by Mountain Dew and you're drinking like water, I don't know, they get really mad about that. And it's like, that's impacting their life right then and there. So it's like, if they're already doing that, then they can just easily do it in the video games as well.
Yeah, because then they're also probably not, because Mountain Dew's probably not going to understand. Hey, why is there a Coke ad? He should be getting Mountain Dew ads.
Exactly.
And then it's like, because he's not supposed to be associated with that,
Yep.
and that's just his YouTube gameplay in the background.
And
then
then
now
there goes esports.
Yeah,
and there goes everyone's career.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that crazy of an apocalypse.
You don't know that though, but that's the scary part.
But yeah, that's the thing. The adpocalypses on YouTube have started because of just like a few rumblings and like some, viral video, right? All it takes is just one idiot to go viral on the internet saying something dumb while there's an advertisement playing in the background from a game that they were playing, right? Like, because people do like story time stuff where they just have some like CSGO footage in the background, right? All it takes is just one poorly timed ad, some schmuck to come by and go, hey, why is our ad, next to that guy that's talking on the internet about things we don't agree with? And then it's just there, it all goes down. It just all goes down.
Yep.
But it just gets worse. So, Fen, I want you to talk about Halo Season 2, all the amazing things coming to Halo, because it doesn't, Microsoft, of course, advertisements, yes, that is way more important than adding more than one map into Halo Infinite. Gosh.
I didn't want to talk about Halo, but we will. All right. Season 2 is coming in the matter of a week. Today's the 26th. By the time you're hearing this, 27. So yeah, next episode will be out essentially. And oh boy, they did it again. Utter disappointment. 6 months from May 6th, I think, or whatever, all the way to almost Christmas. But don't worry, we got one big team battle map and one arena map to last us for 6 months. But don't worry, they're going to give us new modes like King of the Hill that should already been in the game, or Last Spartan Standing that should already be in the game.
Game that have been in the game for generations.
Yeah, and now they're twisting it and saying new content. Don't worry, we got a new updated battle pass. Don't worry, we got some new 3 skins probably. It's just the only reason I still care about Halo is because I like watching the tournaments. And even then, the professional Halo players are about like at the wit's end and like ready to drop Halo.
If their livelihood didn't depend on it, they'd probably all stop playing.
100%. 100%. Like,
Halo is being propped up by
the professional scene. That's it. No, not even nostalgia. They spit on that. They picked that up and shoved up their buttholes, and that's where it's gonna stay forever. Like, this is like Ricky bashed Call of Duty for how trash it is, and now he's saying Call of Duty is better than Halo. That's how you know it's getting bad. All right?
Yeah, but I'd rather spend my time playing Call of Duty.
Exactly. But it's like we have to compare it because Halo is supposed to be the next.
Okay, Battlefield 2042 is dead. Like, that thing's just gone.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. That doesn't exist anymore.
It's just there's indie games with more people. Indie shooter games.
Splitgate, which is basically Halo and Portal, is more supported than this piece of junk Halo game. And like the point to where the devs don't really talk about it, they barely gave us a roadmap, and that roadmap is just them saying, "Oh yeah, 6 months, season 3. Here's 2 maps. Oh, modes."
Do you think there's like a Blizzard kind of thing going back there where they're just all like drunk and just showing up to work harassing everybody? Is that
they're okay? This is gonna be mean, but their reason, I won't say excuse, is because they don't want to overwork their workers. But it's like, okay, I can understand that. Just hire more.
Microsoft is like a multi-billion-dollar company. They can hire like 3 interns at least.
Let them take their breaks. Go hire like some homeless man or something. He'll probably make a better game than what they're doing now. And it's like they don't relay these messages. The pros are like begging them, do something, and then they don't say anything.
Yeah, like if they just talk to us, they're like, "Hey, yeah, we're all pretty stressed out here, man. Like, we're gonna hire more people, or something." Or it's like, at least if they're like, "Hey, we're gonna take a poll. What do you guys want?"
They don't do that either. But guess who does? Guess who does? Call of Duty,
Battlefield.
Yeah, and then everyone said cancel their game.
Dude, I loved how that when there was any criticism, they're just like, oh, you guys are so entitled. And it's just like, all we want is a scoreboard in the game. Please. I want to know how many kills I got, how many deaths I got in the
Literally.
game. Please. All we're asking for you is to spend that time to do that. And they're like, my gosh, you guys just are so toxic.
Just be grateful that whatever game. Halo is so stupid. I'm done with like Halo. Like I don't even want to try season 2.
And
like,
then of course,
but
we're gonna sit there. We're gonna try it again and be like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. And then maybe we'll play a few like weeks for it, and then we're gonna get like. No, you think you're just totally done?
Let's okay, here. We'll compare Call of Duty and Halo. Right now, Season 3 starting for Call of Duty. What are we getting? In Vanguard, we're getting new maps, plural. New guns, plural. Bunch of new skins, plural. Fixes, also plural. We're getting an event with Godzilla and King Kong, which is not needed, but it's like, you know what? What the heck? And then let's compare that to Halo.
Just dropped the Snoop Dogg.
And we also got Snoop Dogg, who loves Call of Duty. And what are we getting in Halo next week? 2 maps. Like
but they're fixing the mangler though, right?
Oh yeah, hey, here's you guys wanted that nerf on week 1. Here you go, season 2.
I wonder why it was so difficult to get the mangler. Like I literally, they just probably opened up like the code and we're just
and
like
increased the 5 to 6
damage, and it's like damage equals like 50. They just put like damage equals like 25, and they're like, woo.
We need a week's break. This is making fun of them, obviously, but like, we need a week's break.
We're over exaggerating here. Like, yes, it is tough being a game dev and stuff, but it's just sometimes it's just like you guys can hire more people, you guys can get better management. It's just I don't know what's going on back there. I guess
of course, I'm to the point. We're gonna keep ranting about this, Ricky. That I don't care right now. I don't really care about if they are making a battle royale because that thing is gonna suck. And the reason it's gonna suck is because they don't talk to anybody.
But if they literally would have mentioned like, "Hey, we're gonna drop the regular, we're gonna drop Halo Infinite into beta. We also have a BR on the way. It's gonna take a little time. We're doing a lot.
Everybody be playing. Everybody be getting ready for the battle royale. All these complaints would probably be non-existent. But guess what? We get Last Man Standing instead. Which is it's just sad. And like this is why I'm like a Call of Duty simp because no, I'm a simp for Call of Duty now because they talk to their community. Just an example right now, Ricky. They just released a trophy system. Like it's supposed to come out for season 3, which is tomorrow for Vanguard. And then, but the challenge to get it was you have to survive 15 games without dying by a grenade. Okay, that sounds beyond stupid, right? So everyone screamed about it, and guess what? Tomorrow when it comes out, you just get it. Because guess what? The devs just said, oops, let's get rid of that. Here you go. Here's it for free.
It's about just creating goodwill with your community and just not like antagonizing them. Because the problem is like you just go in and you're like, nah, screw you guys or whatever. And like, no, we paid money for this game. We expect to get content. Like, especially like, I mean, Halo, I get it was free, but you know, they had the egregious battle passes and stuff like that.
And they screwed that up too, Ricky. Come on now.
Yeah.
But and then let's talk about that too. Season 2 Battle Pass. Literally the same thing, except they just added like 100 points here and there. And it's like, here's some new skins. Again, to bring up Call of Duty. Their Battle Pass includes 2 new weapons, new calling cards, new emblems, new gun skins, new operators. New. What does Halo give us? Like, oh my god.
They give us new complaints. That's what they do.
Congratulations, you have a new aneurysm from all the stress you're having when trying to make this game work. I don't know. It's just like
yeah, they just need to speak their community, but you're gonna pop a blood vessel after this one though with Diablo Immortals going PC and mobile.
About Diablo Immortal. I saw this before we recorded this episode. Fine. Sure, Diablo Immortal PC, sure. But why did they go the route of being total d-bags and saying, "Hey, everyone has a cell phone, right?" Like,
Do you think
oh,
the game's just dead in the water? Do you think no one's just even gonna download
it's
it,
not,
buy it,
because
whatever?
it's everyone's gonna play it because it's Diablo, and now that it's on PC, everyone's gonna play it, and I'm probably gonna be one of those suckers. But it's like, if they were gonna do this, they should have just said at the very beginning, "We're gonna have it on PC to hold you off till the real game Diablo 4."
They could have spun it in like a positive way where it's like, oh, we're making this for PC and we want to make it portable, so we're gonna put it on mobile.
Exactly. But instead they said, "Y'all have phones, right?" You're
Y'all
wrong.
got
We're
phones,
right.
right?
Yeah. Don't worry about Diablo 4. That'll never come. Here's your
I
PC
think
or mobile game.
that's such an infamous day in like gaming,
Exactly.
right? Just that one line right
I
there.
feel bad
What
for
you
that
guys
guy.
have? Because yeah, like I
Like,
don't know.
if I was that
It's
guy,
just,
I would be like in witness protection, getting paid weekly by Blizzard, and I would never have to leave the house because I feel
yeah,
that
I want
guy's done.
compensation from
Yeah,
Blizzard.
that guy's like
If I
done.
went out there and did that presentation, oh man, dude, yeah.
It's
So it's
just,
just not looking good.
I hate video games. Like, honestly,
Hey, but you know what? Chin up, buddy. We got the Mario movie got delayed, right? Mario movie's
okay,
delayed.
I'm gonna rant with that too. That movie needs to be canceled. I saw, I don't, hopefully this doesn't get us banned or anything. I saw a leaked script of this Mario movie, and I pray to every single god out there, I don't care what you believe in, that this script is not true. Ricky, holy cow, this movie is gonna be terrible. I'll give you a hint. There's singing involved.
Oh my gosh.
In terms
This
of Mario and Luigi singing, Princess
with the Toad
Peach,
singing.
Princess Peach and Bowser singing to each other, but they're arguing. They're not even wearing their normal attire. And yeah, I this movie is delayed for a good reason, and I think they should just drop it and say, "Hey, sorry, here's Jack Black as Bowser." That's it. That's the only thing that's gonna good come from this movie, Ricky. Unless that
Yeah.
script is 100% false, but I have
Who's
no
the
hope.
guy who made Mario again?
I have no idea, but he's probably, if he's alive, which I'm assuming he is, don't go outside either.
Miyamoto. Okay, yeah.
Be in the same room as that guy who said y'all have cell phones, right? Get
Yeah.
under that witness protection because
Miyamoto probably walked into the room, like read the script, and just wept a tear, just a single tear.
oh, 100%. He's the one that did the announcement. Hey, we're pushing this back a year.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh
that's
my
probably what happened. He was like,
gosh.
"I'm not letting you do this to my characters." 100%, 100%. Nintendo looked at that and was like,
Yikes.
"They're like, we should have gone with someone else." Oh my god!
I am so terrified for that movie, and now that it's officially pushed back.
Like, because it was supposed to come out like what, end of year?
Yeah, like the end of this year, yeah.
Holiday season, right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
they said
had on
holiday
there.
season or whatever, but now it's pushed back like 6 months.
And they probably had nothing. They probably didn't have much, because by now there would have been some sort of teaser trailer or a trailer in general. Like there would have been some sort of like,
It's just
right, because by now there'd usually be something, some sort of hype, right?
like show his leg or
least,
something. I don't know, anything.
Yeah, like at least the renders or something would have came out already. You know what I mean? Like
But
the
no,
renders would have been leaked or
Ricky,
something.
we
You
don't
know?
need nothing. Nothing. We don't need this movie. If I'm basing this off the script, okay, so it's
No,
probably
the
100%
movie,
wrong. But
the
Ricky,
movie's
it's
gonna
not
get made.
even. It's not even in the Mushroom Kingdom. They're in, I'm assuming, real life, which is us, I guess,
Oh
and they're
no.
going into a pipe into the Mushroom Kingdom. Okay.
Dude, just make it where they're actual plumbers and it's just a parody. That would be way better. At
Okay,
this point.
so here's another part of the script. After, they beat Bowser or whatever, they open up a plumbing business in Mushroom
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom. Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say. And I hate this movie, and I really hope it doesn't come out. Jack Black, run. Chris Pratt, you can stay there. It's fine. But
You know,
I just
Sonic 2 has built up a lot of good faith for video games movies. Hey, you know what? This will be the one time Sega beats Nintendo. You know what?
yeah,
And this will be the one time where Sega can stand up triumphantly and say, "We beat you, Nintendo. Took us 20 freaking
100%,
years, but we did it." But
100%,
we're
and they deserve it.
Sonic 2 built up a lot of goodwill just for Nintendo to come in. Well, Illumination or whatever. Yeah, that's who they're working with, right?
Yeah.
To come in and just destroy all that.
I can't, Ricky. Like just reading the script and like imagining Chris Pratt talking, and like Donkey Kong was like
Singing.
singing, yeah, and Donkey Kong was like fighting other monkeys or something. I don't even know. Ugh, it's just Nintendo. It's time to hang it up. You messed up with Breath of the Wild 2. You pushed that back, and now you're pushing this back. And you don't have Smash anymore. It's like, what's the point of you now?
Yeah, you're not actively supporting Smash Bros anymore.
Yeah.
You're dead to us.
Instead, they're
I don't
canceling
know.
them.
I still have to play Kirby. I've been wanting to play Kirby, but it's
I can't.
I gotta finish Dragon Quest first. Oh, that one's Dragon Quest 11. But that's a good game.
I'm just gonna stick with Call of Duty and never leave.
You're just gonna hold on to the one game,
Yep.
dude. I don't know. I don't know what to expect now anymore. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. I think either just some sort of like, because I would say like we're in the dark age of gaming, right? We had the golden age of gaming that was like with the NES, SNES, all that kind of like, and then you kind of had the silver with like PlayStation and
PlayStation 2,
GameCube and
we'll
stuff
be
like
generous. PlayStation 2 is where like the end.
Yeah, PlayStation 2, I would say, is like when that silver age ends. And then we get kind of like to bronze age with like PlayStation 3 and stuff. And then with like the PS4, like onwards, it's like, it just really like we're in the dark age. So we need a renaissance here to really kind of pick gaming back up. I think honestly, I think it's just gaming has to be like less in scope. I think because there's so much money to be made in games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like we just have to dial things down, right?
Just
like
make
I
it
think
fun.
that's just what it is. Like, yeah, that's why like you have to focus on gameplay. It's like, yeah, I like the cool graphics renders and stuff, but like, can I get gameplay, please?
Exactly.
Remember, can I get a gameplay trailer, please? Can someone show me some gameplay, please? That's how I feel like half the time watching these trailers and being like, oh, look at this cool thing that we came out with. Like, dude, we have bloated development times. Like, let's just kind of focus on getting things scoped in again.
And
I think that's
why I'm glad E3 was canceled.
E3's dead, man. E3 used to be a celebration of games.
Now it's just a cinematic trailer after cinematic trailer for games that are coming out in like 6 years. And here's somebody saying you like mobile games, right? I hate video games.
I think we'll leave it on that. I think that's an appropriate ending spot here. Just, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys?
Why are we here?
I just, yeah. What are we here for? Just to suffer. Well, if you also didn't like what's going on in the world right now in video games, we'd very much appreciate if you leave a like. If you are listening on whatever podcast platform that you prefer, or Spotify, whatever, we'd always appreciate a thumbs up, 5 stars, drop a good review, however you can to show support. We'd very much appreciate that. We also stream a lot. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, we always hang out and play some Call of Duty, some Warzone. Come in, talk to us about games, anything, current events in terms of video game news, movies and stuff. We always like talking about that stuff. So if you want to check out our Twitch, it's twitch.tv/pasttopculture. Pretty much all of our social medias, we're in everything: Twitch, Instagram, TikTok is Past Pop Culture. And am I leaving anything out? I think we got everything.
So. Yep.
All right. So we appreciate you guys listening, hanging out with us today, and I think we're out.
Peace.